All right, mother truckers, this most likely is going to be the person to lead the FMCSA. Just went through like a whole Senate review answering questions. And so my question to you is, after hearing his answers from the questions that they had from truck parking, crashes, domicile CDLs, English proficiency, and freight fraud, let me know. Do you think that this person is going to be the right person to represent the truck drivers on the road in America?
Don't hesitate to stop in this place. The friendly faces, just the showers were amazing. The parking, I don't know if y'all can see the parking. Look at these.
Yeah, man.
These spots.
We don't want you to get hit, man.
Dude, it's great. And people come up. I parked here yesterday. They came out, filled my truck up in this spot. You know, it couldn't get more Cadillac than it is.
What's going on, mother truckers? Welcome to MuthatTruckernews. Email us at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. Want to definitely break this down because the nominations for the new lead of FMCSA is Derek Bars, which was nominated by President Trump on March 24th, 2025 to lead the FMCSA, right? And so when you look at the FMCSA administrator is the top official in charge of steering the agency's strategy to improve motor carrier safety and oversight. So they shape all the policies, enforce standards, and oversee nationwide programs and work on the federal and state and local and private stakeholders level. So the biggest thing is they want safety on the road, and it's 100% correlated to truck drivers. The craziest part is nobody actually that was ever the lead of FMCSA has ever been a truck driver. I think we know the answer why, right? But Derek Bars, it's someone that the ATA wanted to put on top of this list. And so giving you a little bit about his background, and he'll do his opening statement, which I'll put at the end of this video here. Basically, Bars served as nearly 34 years in law enforcement, including as chief of Florida Highway Patrol from January 2001 to January 2020. His claim to fame, they state, is that he co-led a truck drivers and troopers partnership to foster collaboration between industry and enforcement. So he was one of the DOT officers that has given you a level 1, 2, or 3 inspection at the weigh stations in Florida for the last, 34 years, right?
Thank you. We appreciate your coming and joining our committee this morning. And I now recognize Mr. Bars for his opening statement.
Thank you. Chairman Cruz, Ranking Member Cantwell, and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today as the President's nominee for Administrator of Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. I'm honored by the trust placed in me by President Trump and Secretary Duffy to serve in this critical safety role. I would like to thank my family, friends, and colleagues for their unwavering support. I'm especially grateful for my parents for their long life encouragement. I wish my mother could be here today, but I know she's watching proudly in heaven. The trucking industry touches all of our lives. Commercial drivers transport over 70% of our nation's freight and share the road with us every day. These professionals are the backbone of our economy. They work long hours, often away from their families, to ensure that we have the goods we rely on. I deeply respect the dedication and understand the delicate balance between enhancing safety and enabling efficient freight movement. I salute and value the American truck driver and thank them for their work. I'm a multi-generational Floridian raised in rural Madison County, which is in North Florida. That upbringing instilled in me the values of faith, family, community, responsibility, and service. My journey in public service began as a teenager with the Madison County Sheriff's Office, driven by a deep desire to serve my community. I'm incredibly grateful to the many individuals who invested in me over the years, whose guidance shaped my path, strengthened my commitment to service. That commitment has led to a 34-year career spanning both in public and private sectors, with nearly 25 years dedicated to commercial motor vehicle safety. I retired as the chief of the Florida Highway Patrol in 2020, but the experiences and lessons learned from my decade spent in law enforcement continue to be a cornerstone in my life. Today, I remain committed to serving my community through my appointment to the Flagler County School Board, where we operate a successful commercial vehicle driver training school, contributing to workforce development and helping prepare the next generation of safe and professional drivers. I have witnessed the devastating aftermath of crashes, stood beside first responders, comforted grieving families, and seen how a single moment can ripple through an entire community. In 2023, approximately 5,000 lives were lost in large truck and bus crashes, including 900 commercial drivers. These are not just statistics. They are parents, children, colleagues, and friends. Every life lost is one too many. No one should have to see the horrific aftermath of a crash like what I and so many first responders have seen. No family should have to endure that kind of loss. If confirmed, I will make roadway safety my top priority. My work has always emphasized open communication and collaboration with the industry, law enforcement, and safety organizations. I understand what FMCSA's actions, what they do impact the entire industry, and I'm committed to ensuring that agency decisions are informed, balanced, and transparent. If confirmed, I will continue to strengthen relationships between government stakeholders, working together on our shared goal of improving roadway safety as well as addressing critical safety issues. During my time with the Highway Patrol, I served the FMCSA lead with Motor Carrier Safety Assistance Program, where our troopers worked diligently to make a positive difference on our roadways. Through this work, I witnessed the importance of strong partnerships to advance safety. At the national level, I served as the chairman of the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance Enforcement and Industry Modernization and the president of the Transportation Industry Membership. There I helped advance initiatives in connected and automated vehicle technologies, data sharing, and cross-jurisdictional collaboration. I am grateful for the dedicated FMCSA employees who work tirelessly to improve commercial vehicle safety. If confirmed, I would be honored to lead this team in fulfilling the FMCSA mission to reduce crashes, injuries, and fatalities involving large trucks and buses. I will ensure the agency operates with integrity, transparency, accountability, and efficiency. So I want to thank you for your time and consideration. And if confirmed, I look forward to working with you and your teams to advance our shared goals of roadway safety and the efficient transportation of goods. And from President Roosevelt, I'm ready to be the man in the arena, and I'm prepared to get to work, and I welcome your questions.
FMCSA must remain a safety agency, but there are things FMCSA can do in its role overseeing motor carrier safety that would stop fraud. For example, FMCSA is updating its registration system, and as a part of that work, it will stop issuing new motor carrier, or MC, numbers and require more thorough identity verification. Mr. Bars, I'm working on legislation to enhance FMCSA's ability to identify and stop fraud. If confirmed, will you work with me on ways to stop fraud and freight fraud, and what do you see as the most promising strategies?
Senator, thank you for that question. You're exactly right. This is a nationwide issue that is causing major issues, again, with the trucking industry and our economy. I look forward to working with you on this particular issue and working with all the different partners that we have to ensure that bad actors are penalized or they go to jail the way they need to, and we can work together with different agencies to make sure that that can happen. But I look forward to working with you on this particular issue moving forward. Yes, sir.
Secretary Duffy has done is to look at this and to end this practice. It is a public safety issue. So I would like for you to speak for a moment about the need to have people that can read and speak English as the commercial drivers and making our highway safer.
Thank you, Senator, for the question. And you're right, and I've mentioned in my opening statement, of course, my career speaks for itself. It's in law enforcement, and I have been a roadside inspector and inspecting commercial motor vehicles and understand that the difficulty that it places on me as the inspector of having to communicate with someone who cannot communicate with you. As an inspector, if I'm going to do a level 1 inspection, which is doing a full inspection of that vehicle and having to get up under and check brakes and so forth, I need to be able to communicate with that driver, not only for the safety of the roadway drivers, but also me as the inspector if I'm going to inspect that truck. So it's extremely important that that driver is able to at least have a conversation, understand the commands, and understand our road signs for safety. It's safety first, and that's where I believe my experience comes into this as understanding the effects that it plays on roadside as well.
We are a logistics hub in Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am.
And the Memphis area with all 5 Class 1 railroads, with the port, with FedEx. So this is something that during previous administrations,
as the administrator, to make sure the FMCSA is doing everything it can do to reduce crashes and protect drivers and families on our roadways.
Senator, thank you very much for the question. Roadway safety being top priority for me in my career. As I mentioned in my open statement, working closely and with our MCSAP grants, there are law enforcement officers in your state, making sure they're doing the aggressive traffic enforcement that needs to be done. Also going and doing the inspections that need to do and try to do preventative concerns, finding those violations well before they happen so we can prevent those crashes from happening during the road's regular routine inspection is critical.
Mr. Barr, as you know, AVs are not limited to passenger vehicles. One area where we've seen incredible growth is within the commercial trucking industry. The benefits this technology promises to deliver are vast, with reductions in supply chain constraints and improvements in the transport of goods. A theme of mine in recent hearings as chairman of one of the subcommittees here has been outdated regulations that either hinder the ability of industry to innovate or create log jams in the safe deployment of technology. So I'd like to very briefly dig into this with you and see if there are any areas you see as needing improvements. One example might be FMCSA regulations require truck drivers to manually place warning triangles behind a vehicle when it's stopped or pulled over. This means drivers have to get out of their cab and walk along busy highway shoulders, often in dangerous conditions like poor visibility, high traffic speeds, or inclement weather, to deploy these devices. As you know, as a law enforcement officer, and as the data shows, the side of the road's incredibly dangerous at times. Do you see opportunities for FMCSA to allow innovation in roadway safety so that drivers don't have to walk alongside the highway to manually place plastic triangles? Yes or no?
Senator, thank you for the question. And
yes or no,
answer is
please.
yes.
If you're confirmed, can you commit to working with me should you see any areas where outdated regulations like these are prohibitive to innovation or detrimental to safety on ways to address these potential issues?
Senator, I do, yes.
Thank you. I'm out of time. Chairman?
Thank you. Senator Rosen.
Well, thank you, Chairman Cruz, for holding the hearing today. I want to thank you to all the nominees, your willingness to serve. And I'm going to focus a little bit on Nevada today because, Mr. Bars, Nevada continues to grapple with a significant shortage of safe and accessible truck parking facilities. It's a challenge that directly affects driver safety, increases operational costs for carriers, and disrupts the efficiency of our freight supply chains. While estimates suggest that there's a shortage of 40,000 safe truck parking spaces nationwide, giving Nevada's strategic location as a major transportation corridor for interstate commerce, particularly in southern Nevada. We have the I-15, comes in from all of Southern California onto the trucks that way, and of course northern Nevada along the I-80 coming in from San Francisco into the interior. It's particularly critical for our state and for the surrounding region. So, Mr. Bars, can you outline the specific strategies, policies, or funding priorities you would pursue as administrator of FMCSA to help expand this truck parking capacity, improving the safety conditions in Nevada, and it's really going to help our supply chain just move more quickly through the country?
Senator, thank you for the question. Truck parking surely is a necessity, is one that I've been working on for a long period of time throughout my career in the public and private sector. I can tell you that in my state, in Florida, we've made that a top priority, just like I know that is an issue for you in your state, and looking at different ways that we can work with federal highway, with funding that goes directly to truck parking, looking at engineering ways to potentially redesigning current locations that are there now.
Smart Park program, would you be interested in using things like that?
We do not use that specifically. We use like truck parking availability, which would be similar to that. So yes, being able to get those notifications out to the truck drivers so they can make informed decisions, but so they can plan their trips accordingly and get to a spot for safety.
Thank you.
Mr. Bars, can you discuss your views on this issue, and if confirmed, will you work with me and my office to fix this problem?
Senator, thank you for the question. Safety is paramount, as we discussed earlier with my career in law enforcement, making sure that all drivers are safe on our roadway, but ensuring that drivers are qualified and safe has got to be the utmost importance of what we're doing with commercial vehicle safety. If confirmed, I'm committed to addressing this particular issue. I've worked closely with the Texas Department of Public Safety throughout my career and understand that this particular issue is concerning, and we'll work closely with you in your office to ensure that we can make sure that all drivers who are in our country are safe.